Hello, y'all. Okay, so this is a new video. It's on my roommate's home. Okay, so this is more of like an encouragement video, and it's not like vlogging or what else, like jamming or anything. This is like words of encouragement, and I think like I'm going to bring out certain videos of encouragement, confidence, and just like, yeah, and testimonies. More of like, this is like a testimony. Maybe you're going through something, this will help you. Words of encouragement. So, yeah, this video is about encouragement, and especially being a student and being a musician and a follower of God and doing the work of God. So, um, yeah, so I'll be basically also, it will be based off of First Corinthians chapter 1, verses 25 through 31. So, Crystal's in the background. Yeah, FaceTiming. So, yeah, I mean, encouragement, words of encouragement, because I've had mentors and friends helping me, especially Crystal, and and it's good. We should, as a student and as a musician, we should share of like what we are going through, because we are all going through like some type of struggle, some type of pain, and not being good enough, especially as a singer here at Berklee College of Music here in Boston. There are so many vocalists. To be honest, like the voice department and the guitar department is one of the biggest out of Berklee. And so, it was very intimidating, and especially also in high school. I will start off like in high school. Um, I was in a jazz ensemble and in the choir, but like jazz ensemble was like a selected group of people, and we would be performing um, at different venues, different places outside of school, and it would be really intimidating because my classmates, they were beautiful and talented and blessed. Like their voices were so talentedly beautiful, and like I grew up, thinking I'm not good enough, especially growing up my household. Like my parents, like they weren't being mean or anything, but they were being honest, and like they would say, "Oh, you don't sing enough. You you don't sound good. Oh, you're off pitch." And that really like hindered me and hindered my performance and hindered how I sing. I know they weren't trying to put me down, but sometimes parents like, they're usually the supporters you look up to because you're close with them. And so, I really believed in what they said, like, oh, I'm not good enough. There was even at one point my senior year, I had a solo that, if you guys are from CSA, Dr. Woods, he gave me a solo piece called Way of the World by New York Voices, right? Yes. Okay. I remember. um, yeah, and I was I had confident, like I had very low self-esteem and very low confidence. And like I was barely like, "Oh, I think I was good enough." And then at the end of the concert, I said to my mom, "So, how did you think it was?" Like you want them to, be positive. But no, my mom was like, your voice was too weak. You needed more power, and like to be honest, the other girl is better than you. And like, yeah, my mom said that, and like she doesn't realize, and she's a very honest person. If y'all know me, I'm very honest. That's where I get it from. But yeah, so it really hurt me and really hindered me. And so throughout high school, like I was like, I am not good enough. When I sang, like you could obviously hear that I don't have confidence. And even my dad's like, you know, you have a beautiful voice, but your voice, like this is not your potential. And it really like it hurt me because like I'm trying to give it my all, and like he's telling me, oh, I'm not giving it my all. And so as a musician, like I really down myself. I put a lot of negativity, and then when I went into college, like I saw my peers like performing. We had type of like freestyle, like jamming type of nights. I forgot the word. My memory. Since I've entered college, I used to have great, perfect memory, and since I've entered college, bro, like literally. But yeah, yeah, I was so intimidated, um, and I really had self-esteem issues, and like I wasn't singing full out like I used to when I was in elementary school and middle school. Um, and yeah, even my parents would come and like, I'm sitting that, and um, it like literally like the devil was really trying to make me like shut up, and like it was like the devil, that's what they can do, like they can use people and to really like, I don't know what's the word, they can really like make you close up and not do what God wants you to do and to your full potential. And so yeah, my parents are like, I'm sending you to a music school and like this amount of X dollars and paying for this, and you're not making any good use of it. And I was like, whoa. And um and also I came into Berkeley with no music theory, no type of knowledge. Um, and it was a struggle because people in my music theory class, like, they were getting A's, and, I used to get A's throughout all in high school. But when I came to college, like, I will be honest, I was failing my tests. I was failing ear training. I was failing harmony. Like, but all my other classes, I was doing okay. And I had a tutor. I would stay up to 2 a.m. finishing homework for MAT, and I had 3 times a week. And like I would stay up till 2 a.m. and like doing all my hard work and all my potential in these two classes, and I wound it up. I mean, I got a C, but like from there on with ear training and harmony, like it's always been a struggle. I always put to be honest, like I for my other classes, I don't put as much work as I did with ear training and harmony, and I just finished harmony and ear training this semester, and I'm going into 5th semester. Like literally, I had 2 tutors. I would like sign up for as much help as I can, get it from my friends, and I would fail my tests. I would fail I would fail all the exams. I mean, I go to class, I turn in my homework, turn in my projects. Actually, I even had a professor. He's like, I mean, I'm not accusing you of anything, but he was. But it feels like you're just getting by my class. And I was like, bruh, I'm spending the most time for your class. Like, literally. And you were saying that to me. Yeah. And it's so discouraging. And just like, and everyone else there getting A's, like, I would see, like, get their exams back and, like, A. And I'm like, I would really feel down about it. Like, my first semester, I did not want to come back to Berkeley. I because I would literally stay up 2 a.m. finishing my projects, finishing my homework, getting help. And like when I would go to MAT 3 times a week, my MAT teacher, he wanted the best and the best to come out of me. But the way he was doing it, like, he would embarrass me in class. Maybe he didn't mean to do it, but he embarrassed me in class. And because, like, my classmates, like, they would know I wouldn't know the answer. Like, they would give me dirty looks. Like, why are you here? You know, are you here just because, like, oh, you know, they would even talk in class, like, oh, you know, there are some students that come to Berkeley and, like, they're so privileged to get in, and they just pass by in class, and it's just like, and they're wasting money. And I'm like, bruh, if you talking to me, you know what, say it's my face. But at the time I was like scared angel, very quiet. I wasn't this outspoken. But like, yeah, my MA teacher, he would embarrass me in class. And like, Crystal can even say, I would call her, I would be crying every single night, and like, literally. And it was hard to call my parents. Like, I was struggling. And then even when I would come home, like, no offense, but Dad, if you're watching, you called me out. You were like, why are you getting a D in this class? Like, because I struggle. Like, it's difficult. Also, on top of that, as a musician, going to Berkeley, we have to take 16 credits, which means we take 8 to 10 classes a semester. So not just that, we have exams and projects for just one class, but imagine for all of them. So I like, as a musician, we're not all like we lazy and like, you know, you see on TV. No, like, we have 9 to 10 classes, and normal colleges, they have maybe max 6 classes. We have 8 to 10 classes. Welcome to Berkeley, where you don't sleep. So, you know, literally. But it's just, yeah, that was my first semester. I did not want to come back to college, and even this semester, it was a struggle because I've always struggled with harmony, like I said. And man, I had 2 tutors for harmony. That's all I would focus on. I only focused on harmony. And to be honest, like, I didn't even memorize my proficiency, which is, so proficiency is for people who don't go to Berkeley. So you audition, you know, for your main instrument, and for 4 semesters you're taking, you know, private lessons, and then at the end you're tested. And so for my proficiency, I had to memorize 4 songs with lyrics, bruh. One was a classical piece, one was a technical piece, and then one was a jazz piece, and then the other was a country pop song. Bruh, I did not memorize, well, the lyrics I didn't memorize until like 5 days prior. Like, to be honest, this semester, I will admit, like, I did no effort for that. Like, the classes I didn't expect to get good grades in, I got an A. Like, praise the Lord, I got an A. Like, God bless me with an A. An A. And like, oh, I also struggled in one of my EPD classes, but that will come to an end. But like, yeah, I had to get help. I hate asking for help. Even Crystal had to tell, like, you need help because this thing is due tomorrow. Yeah. Like, literally, like, I hate asking for help, but I had to ask for help. I was like, God, please help me. And if you ask God, God will provide. But for this one, I literally had to personally ask for help in order to receive that help. Otherwise, I would have failed that class. But I got help, and I thank God for blessing me. And I got an A in that class. And so, but yeah, and I got all A's and B's, but I got 1 freaking D because it was in harmony. Yet, I spent the most time, the most effort, the most work, and like I got a D. I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I know, maybe I shouldn't share this, but like, seriously, like, there are times where you have to learn from your failures too. Like, you can't be afraid of failing. Like, to be honest, that D is like my F. And so, like, I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that. And also, like, I worked hard for that. It doesn't make any sense. The stuff that I didn't work as much for compared to Harmony, I did very well in. And then the most I worked hard in, like, yeah. Um, Also, I'll also, like, in a different video, share my testimony of, like, academics and all. I've always struggled with academics. But anyways, but yeah, like, this is a time where, like, you need to trust God and, like, put all your faith, all your everything into God, because He will provide. Like, because if we do it on our own, first of all, it's going to hinder us. Also, like, when that happened to me, like, a couple semesters, my shoulders were very heavy, and like, I was tired easily. But once I trust in God, like, I sometimes have so much energy. I'm like, God, where is this energy coming from? But He's providing. When you ask, He will give it to you. You will receive. So, not being good enough. This is kind of, yeah, I try to write notes, but I kind of went off track. I'm sorry. So, yeah, but as an encouragement, like, being the weakest and sometimes, like, being the worst, like, I embarrass myself all the time. God uses the weakest. God uses the weakest and make them a leader. You never know. So don't ever, like, underestimate yourself. And, like, my friend, some of you guys know Feo, she says, don't say that you are going to fail. And don't say, like, this, because if you do, you're going to believe it. And then if you believe it, it's going to come true. So, with the most confidence, like, I told myself for Harmony, I was like, I'm not going to fail this class. I'm not going to fail this class. No, there was no heck way I'm retaking this class. So, I worked hard, but, the grade is the grade. But, a grade is a grade, really. Like, once you graduate, like, it doesn't really matter about your grades, really. Because when you get a job, they're not going to look at your grades. Unless you're going to medical school. Maybe it matters. Definitely. But yeah, like, just ask God, like, for guidance and like whatever you need, and He will provide. And if you're obedient, God will provide. Because, like, sometimes, like, there are times, like, where I've gotten jealous of others, and I'm like, why is this happening to that person? Why are they so blessed? Sometimes you have to be obedient. Sometimes you have to do what God tells you to do. And, like, if God is telling you to just sleep and not study, sleep, and He will provide. So, the verse that I'm going to be reading off of is Corinthians chapter 1, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, and verse 26. Brothers, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. He chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not, to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before Him. It is because of Him that you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us wisdom from God. That is our righteousness, holiness, and redemption. Therefore, as it is written, let him who boasts boast in the Lord. So yeah, God uses the weakest as like a humbling thing. Um, to be humble and also like, you know, use David to kill Goliath. So, you know, there's a testimony right there. So, you know, when you think you are nothing, you are nothing of this world, remember that God has chosen you and made you so beautifully. Each and every person that He has created and who, you know, you are in God's life, like you are special. You are to be used for something, you know. Everybody has their own journey and everybody has their own path, and yeah, and it's such a beautiful thing. Everybody is beautiful, and yeah, and yeah, when you think you're not good enough, you know, you just need to ask God for confidence, and you just need to believe and trust God, and also to believe in yourself. Um, it's a struggle, even for me. Like I have confidence issues sometimes. Like I get really nervous, you know, just singing out, or sometimes even posting videos like this, you know, being myself, because I'm like, oh, what do people think of me? You know, da 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 da. Who cares? To be honest, it's like, who cares? How I think of it is like, it's kind of funny. Um, like I just post the videos, and, like, to be honest, like, um, when people do mention, oh, they watch my videos, I'm like, oh, wow, people actually, you know. So it doesn't really hit me, but, you know, in reality, it's like, oh, I'm just talking to myself. So, you know, this is what I feel like. I just feel like I'm just talking to myself, and I talk to myself all the time. Even in public, when people are like, what did you say? And I'm like, no, I'm just talking to myself, you know. I'm crazy, and I admit it. I'm a weirdo, and I'm...
Nothing wrong with that. Weirdos are cool.
Yeah, just be yourself, and, yeah, because, bruh, I embarrass myself in my major, like, which is electronic production design, sometimes as this stupid stuff. People think I'm stupid, and you know what? If they do,
That's dumb.
I'm like crying laughing because it's really funny. You know what? Because like they can underestimate. Like sometimes the people you underestimate, they come out and you're like, bro, what? Like, you don't know what is coming. But like one time, it was like 2 weeks ago, and I was like showing my final project for my digital mix class, and so my professor, oh, I'm really not good at like thinking on the spot. Sometimes like things just leave my mind. So he's like, so do you have a reference track? And then I was like, in my head, I'm like, I do actually, but I can't think of the thing. Like I was blanking out. And I was like, yeah, but I can't remember it. So it sounded like I lied, but I didn't. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, that was the song. I was like, oh, I used a Kelly Clarkson reference song. But I didn't say that. But I was like, wow, Angel, you could have. Oh, that wasn't the first encounter. That wasn't. It happened again in the same class, same day. Oh, and then, oh, he's like, do you get the side, what is it, side chain? Oh, I'm even blinking out right now. But, literally. And then he's like, do you get it? And I looked at the board, like, really stupidly, like, oh, I can't even speak right now. Like, I looked dumb. I can be, but I was looking at the board and, like, trying to comprehend everything. And then he's like, do you get it? Like, and then I didn't say it with confidence. I said, yeah, I get it. And then everyone in my class is like, oh my God. And I'm like, and then, oh, it also happened the third time. So I parallel, crap. Let me go through my notes. Actually, I have it right here. I have it right here. Like, see, I'm dead serious. I blink right now.
Yep.
Literally, I was parallel. So I did this thing in my project and I didn't even know it. And like, he's like, do you realize that you, I think, parallel compression? I think it was, bruh, like, okay, I cannot find this for life. Wait, bruh. I think it was parallel compression. And then, well, anyways, he was like, did you know that you did that? And then I had to admit, I was like, and he's like, well, you figured, like, you found a happy accidental, thing. And I was like, wow. It didn't happen in one class. It happened in another EPD class. It was really bad. Like, oh man, I look stupid in my major, and people are like, oh my, I'm sure people in my class are like, oh my gosh, she's so nice, but she's so stupid. Like, you know what? That's fine. I embarrass myself all the time. In the other class, like, no, because it really does actually, like, I find it really funny now, but like, in the moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I have butterflies, like, my heart starts beating, and then I start doubting myself. Oh my gosh, maybe my classmates think I'm stupid, maybe like my teacher thinks I'm not good enough. But you know what? But then I'm like, God, please, like, make me not feel this way, and like it goes away. Once it happens, I'm like, oh, I'm glad that stopped. But especially in my other EPD class, it was a struggle because we would have to present our projects, and compared to like everyone else, like my stuff would be really bad. And there was like one time my teacher was like, it wasn't good, so yeah, I would embarrass, like I would like have no confidence, and like, oh yeah, like there will be like angels next, and I'm like, oh yeah, like it's really bad. And then like, I would tell my classmates, and like I did say that it was bad. So not just that, but oh yeah, there would be times I wouldn't be paying attention. Like I'll be talking to my classmate, or literally, or looking at my phone, and like my teacher would be just talking, and he would be saying our names, like, oh, to present our projects or whatever. And then he would say my name, and I'd be like,
Yes, that's not true.
I'm reconnecting.
Okay.
Is it working? Okay. I was reconnecting. But yeah, I would embarrass myself a lot. So, yeah. So, yeah. And it's just like having confidence and trust in God. It can be very hard, but then it takes time. It's not an easy thing. And, yeah, I'll be always doubting myself at least in one class each semester. And I think that's a normal thing. I am a human being. We're all human beings. Yeah, so it can be, yeah, it was, my first year at Berkeley was really tough. I really didn't want to go back to Berkeley my first semester. But, this is what God wants me to do. God wants me to be here at Berkeley. He has blessed me and brought me here to Boston. Otherwise, I could have gone to Chicago. I could have stayed in Ohio. But no, I decided to chose to come and move to Boston. Yeah, it was like my last decision, last choice. So, yeah. Those are words of encouragement. That's like my testimony of like high school to college, like just now. And yeah, you guys can like personally message me. Like I'm gonna be doing more videos of these type of videos, um, you know, testimonies and like oh, you know, maybe you're going through addiction or something, and I can like talk about that. You know, you guys can personally message me and like ask like, you know, or tell me like what I should do next. And yeah, because I would love to hear y'all feedback, but y'all never do. Y'all never like comment, and I know y'all be watching and listening because I can see like, well, I don't see like exactly who's watching, but I can see views. I know y'all be watching. So yeah. And then maybe I'll do like a fun fact video about myself. Oh, there's a lot of things. No, there's a couple of things. Even if you do know me personally, there's some things I didn't tell you guys. So, you know. Yeah. No, but Crystal knows everything about me. But, you know. Yeah. So maybe when I go back to Ohio, I can do like maybe a little fun fact videos. You guys can know more about me. Might as well, because I'm an open book. I used to be, y'all don't know, but I used to be very shy and very quiet. Very. Like, I wouldn't even talk to people. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. Like, when I was little, I'd always cling to my mom and never want to, like, be next to anybody else. Especially older people, like high schoolers, they intimidated me very much. So, yeah. Alright. Is that it? Wait, Crystal, is there anything else you want me to talk about, or did I cover everything? Words of encouragement. Yeah, and there's also different types of encouragement too. Like maybe you are stuck in like some type of project and you can't pull through. It can be hard. That's an encouragement. Or like you are going through like maybe some type of death. Maybe I can like maybe go through like little brief of like if you're going through death through family. Like always know that God is there, and like, you know, just even to speak to our Father, like just having a normal conversation, like, you know, just talking like by yourself. Like you may sound crazy, your neighbor may say you are crazy, but you know what? Because God will answer, God will use somebody or like speak to you personally or through the Bible or something to speak through you and to give you encouragement. But know you are not alone, because I mean I went through, you know, like, well, not me, but like people in my family have passed. And it was hard because I went through depression, and that was the time where like I wasn't seeking God, and like I was suicidal. I don't know if I should be sharing this, but you know what? Let me just be open, okay? Yeah, and I really needed God, and like, and I was lonely. And at the time I really didn't have any friends. And this was before, if y'all know me, I went to Cleveland School of the Arts. I was still in Highland. Yeah, and I like distanced myself, and then things happened. Not just that, but I never gotten into a fight in my life, but I did. And yeah, and it was bad. It was really bad. Uh, but I look at it now and I'm laughing. Nervous laugh, kind of, but it was actually.
I was in that same position too.
No, but like, yeah, never been jealous, never been in a fight ever in my life until then. Actually, no. I've been in a fight, but that was like sibling. That's whole different. But anyways, it's a little different. But yeah, with death and stuff, know that like yeah, God is always with you. It's going to be hard, but it's like really surround. In my opinion, if you go off lonely, like you're going like for me, like personally, like it's gonna be a struggle. It's hard anyways, but it's just you may like stir off onto a different path that maybe God doesn't want you to be. But yeah, surround yourself by people you are loved or you love, and know that you are not alone, and also like God is taking care of those people. Maybe it's their time to go to heaven and they're in a better place, so yeah, so don't worry, and just trust God, have faith, and God like will bless your life, really. Even like when you're praying, when you're speaking in tongues, you're praying for your future. So, God is always blessing, even when we don't deserve it, Like this semester, I got A's in classes I didn't expect. Literally. But, so, yeah, if you're going through any death situations or relationship type of situations, just know that there are other people who are going through the same thing. You are not alone. When I thought I was like alone, you're not, because there are other people who are going through the same thing. And you know what? Just trust God, because maybe one day it'll be a testimony. And like you'll be helping other people. So I love stories. I'm sorry I talk too much about myself and testimonies, but when other people talk about their testimonies and their stories, I love it. It's like story time. That's how I love like listening to the Bible growing up in church. I know I'm going off track, but I talk too much. But yeah, that's how I remembered it, as like stories. Because I also learned in different ways. I'll also talk about maybe learning, like an education, how people learn differently, because I grew up with an IEP. Crystal grew up with an IEP or 504. And talk about how the U.S. education system is kind of messed up. So maybe that'll be my next topic. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it helps. If not, then you can just watch me ramble, or either that, cut me off while watching back on this video, and like, stop listening to me, but that's okay. Because that is you be you, and I'm being me, so. All right. Have a good night, y'all. Oh, it's almost 1 a.m. Okay.
Have a good morning.
How do I end this before? Do I just exit out? Okay, bye. Yes.